Hey everybody, it's Rick Carter with CNF Worldwide, and we've wandered our way into Las Vegas this week. But unlike all of you gamblers who never lose, wink wink nudge nudge, we are not hanging out on the Strip. We're up here in the Arts District on Main Street, and if you check your Google Maps, you can find that in between the Strip and Fremont downtown area. We're here today with Peter Jakubowski, who is one of the founders and owners of Clay Arts Vegas. He's going to give us a little tour of their operation here and tell us about the neighborhood. Peter, how's it going today?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. So, and there's Marcus.
Hi, Marcus.
Marcus, the official guard dog of this place. Do not mess with Marcus.
Yes, he's a fixture.
So give us some background, Peter. How'd you guys get started here at Clay Arts Vegas?
So we opened the studio about 8 years ago, and what it was a group of artists who were working out of the northern part of the city. We're talking about all the things that were kind of missing in the clay community in Las Vegas. And we decided, well, you have a choice. Either you can complain or you can do something about it. So we started looking for a place and eventually found this building at 1511 South Main Street.
Yeah, so and you're not just an art gallery, you are a clay pottery gallery here, but you guys also teach classes and you sell the supplies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we are kind of a business in 3 stages, so why don't we take a look around and I can show you the different stages of it and we can talk about what we do here.
Lead the way.
Excellent. The first part about it is our gallery space, and the gallery we change out every other month. And we do international calls to artists. We have them submit from all over the globe. We jury in the very, very best work. And then from those shows, we headhunt and look for artists whose work is truly unique. And then we bring them in to do workshops here in Las Vegas.
So the artists who you guys go out and find, you actually bring them here to teach your students?
Yeah, typically we bring in about 5 artists per year. And we kind of support the Las Vegas community, but it's also open for folks around the country. So if people want to do a Las Vegas clay vacation, they can more than easily do it. And the artists that we bring in, we try to find folks that do things that are different than what we do at the studio. Las Vegas is kind of an island surrounded by sand, so it can get kind of inbred very quickly. So to get all these kind of different voices in helps push the work that comes out of the studio, helps push all of us, and keeps us connected to the current trends.
Cool. So you're getting inspiration from other places. But what are your specialties? What kind of things do you guys focus on here locally?
So we do a really kind of eclectic crossover of work because we are a teaching studio. We have classes for about 150 people at any given time. So we try to do kind of a wide variety of things to keep that fresh. But we also make dishes for things like a local restaurant, Esther's Kitchen and Ada's, which has been kind of voted the best restaurant in town now for about 1.5 years. So they do all homemade, handmade pastas, breads, etc. And we do homemade dishes, each one at a time, no molds. So it's as kind of unique as the food that they're preparing.
And I will vouch for Peter's statement there. We've eaten at Esther's Kitchen twice now since Peter directed us there. We've got some shots of your clayware and stuff that they're using over there, which we will include in this. So can you take us through the gallery here and tell us about some of the pieces you have here now?
Yeah, absolutely. So if we start kind of over here against the wall, the show that we have in is a luster show. So it's all work that ceramic artists who use different kind of metallic and opalescent finishes. We're featuring Nathan Bray, who's out of Minneapolis. And Nathan actually came and did a 2-day workshop for us, teaching people here how he applies his gold and those kind of opal tones. The rest of the work that has that kind of color palette are from different artists from all over. So it's kind of an interesting combination of pieces. We also do a collaboration project with a distillery in Wyoming, and it's Backwards Distillery. Mm-hmm. And what we do is they make 7 spirits. We pair an artist with each of their spirits. So the artist makes a cup inspired by the spirit, and then Amber, who owns the distillery, creates a cocktail inspired by the cup. So we pulled out some of those cups from the last couple of years and put them out so you could get a chance to see them. And they're just as kind of crazy and eclectic as the spirits that they make.
All of these cups were made here at Clay Arts Vegas.
Yep, we make them here, and then we go up to Casper, Wyoming, and we do this collaborative project. And what it has spurred is a secondary collaboration. We work with Art 321, which is the Casper Artist Guild, and Casper College, and we have created the Wyoming State Clay Festival. So each summer in the beginning of July, a group of folks from Las Vegas travel up to Casper, Wyoming. We do a wood firing, and then we invite potters from all over the state to come bring their work, and then they do a sale at Art 321, and a portion of the proceeds raised go to help support the Artist Guild in Casper.
Do you have a website or information about how people can find out more about that event?
Yeah, all they have to do is go to art321.org, and they have all the information on their website.
Okay, so Peter, tell us about some of the wood-fired creations you guys have here.
So all of the pieces that are on the shelf that are kind of in different stages of brown are all from this wood fire collaboration that we do up in Casper, Wyoming. So we this year took 16 people, each of them brought work. We load the kiln at the college, and over the course of 3 days, keep putting logs in until the fire gets to be about 2,500 degrees. So the finishes that you see on these pieces actually are the ash from the trees burning. And the ash starts to fuse and become a glaze on the work. So we can't do it here in Las Vegas, but because the folks up at Backwoods Distillery and Art 321 and Casper College are so in the same mindset that we are, that it takes a village to make things happen, we're able to make this a reoccurring annual event.
So you yourself go up there every year for this?
Yeah, and we're actually the ones that instigated and started this whole festival. So we organize it for them. We work with Art 321 in developing the list of artists who come to it. So it's a fantastic time for all of us and gets us out of the Vegas heat.
So do you have similar festivals here in Vegas?
We don't actually, and in part it's because Las Vegas and Nevada are kind of so spread out that it makes it a little bit difficult to kind of organize that kind of grouping of people.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're back here at the Clay Arts Vegas with Peter and very, very diligent guard dog Marcus, who's making sure that I don't harm Peter in any way here. So over your shoulder, I see lots of pieces here that are made by your students and you guys here?
So most of the work over on this side of the room are from local artists as well as people that have recently done workshops for us. And at this point, we are the only supplier for clay and raw materials in Las Vegas. So we stock about 64 different types of clay that are available to all of our students as well as anyone in the Las Vegas area who's looking for material. We also stock glazes from Laguna and Spectrum. Spectrum is a really cool company out of Canada, and they are a family-owned glaze company. So when we were looking for someone to partner with on that, we were looking for someone who kind of were like us, willing to explore supporting a new organization and upstart. So
in that vein, how difficult was it getting this off the ground here in Las Vegas?
So it wasn't super easy. One, of course, because it's an arts organization, funding. So we did a lot of kind of, I'm going to call it hunt and peck. Mm-hmm. So we found a lot of materials used that we were able to stretch our budget. We initially had a group of 7 investing artists who each threw in a little bit of money and a lot of sweat equity to try to help get us off the ground. And then it was really about convincing the city of Las Vegas what we were and how we were going to operate. Yeah. And that's trickier than it sounds, and in part because Las Vegas is such a large hotel casino driven city, things like the word gallery space, which for us is about 1,000 square feet of retail space, in their minds was a museum. So because of using that word, they wanted us to have 20 toilets just to support this room. And Our studio is only 4,200 square feet, so 20 toilets would have taken up half the room. But it's the kind of hurdles and hoops that you have to jump through to try to make something happen.
So Clay Arts Vegas is a testament to persistence and dedication on the part of all involved here.
Oh, absolutely. And even like when we were finding equipment, what we would do is look for anything within a 12-hour drive. So one could drive, get a bargain, and drive back. And so it really has been a labor of love. Like, we don't draw salaries at this point. We really are just kind of trying to keep the boat afloat and make things happen.
So Peter, as I mentioned to you earlier, in some other industries, it seems like when small business is doing something that's, new and innovative, sometimes local government isn't really prepared to deal with your requests and explanations of what you're trying to do. Did you find some of that here?
Yeah, it really is a hard one. Like for us, because we are selling finished artwork, we are teaching classes, we are selling raw materials and clay, they look at us as three different businesses all in one hub. So when we first opened this location, we jumped through a lot of hoops, and we really had to try to explain to them how it was all going to work. They couldn't process it.
So did you have to get multiple business licenses for those different aspects, or did they figure out a way to meld that all into one?
None of our paperwork matches because each branch had a different kind of description for us. So they would redefine us based on what their needs were. So now that we're looking at growing and expanding, we're having to go back and kind of clarify a lot of that information for the city.
So you're telling me that different city agencies processed you as different types of entities because that's what they were prepared to deal with.
Right, and some of it involves use of space, some of it involves use of property, some of it involves business licensing, and so it all becomes, like, for the average person, a real gray area. And I think we were probably better equipped than many folks in this process because my background and Tom's background, who's my partner in the business, we come from a theater background. And so having that kind of skill of prepping and mounting large major theater works, we were able to do our own drawings. We're able to do a lot of that kind of legalese. And even with that, it's been a never-ending learning process.
So you approach this as another production.
A really big one that never has an opening night. Yeah. So,
and one that we hope the curtain never falls on.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we're back here at Clay Arts Vegas with Tom Bumblaskis. He's one of the owners and partners here. And Tom's going to tell us a little bit about the classes and the pottery education you can get here.
Well, one of the great things about the way that we teach classes here at Clay Arts Vegas is we're an open enrollment society, as it were. So you can come in and start class any week that you want, which means you're always going to have something new going on. All of our classes are project-based. So this week we're working on these crazy altered cups. Last week we were working on vases. The week before we were making piggy banks. So every week there's a new project, which helps to build skills as well as teaches you foundation. So it's kind of a really great way to approach the ceramics education.
So you have courses for the very complete novice beginner up through people who are more advanced and been doing this for a little while?
Yeah, so we do beginners classes on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And those days we have multiple teachers during class time. And so we have one person who's sort of assigned to help the beginners out and one person who helps out the folks who are more advanced.
Yeah, so you find the people who come in here as beginners, have they dabbled a little bit before? Do you have people come in like me who would go, okay, Tom, the first thing I need you to give me is the terminology. What do I call all the things in front of me?
We have folks who've been here and doing clay for 60 years. We have folks who the first time they ever touched a piece of clay was the day they walked in the door.
Right. So you'd say, Rick, this is a stool, turn it over, sit on it, right?
Exactly.
We'll go from there.
Don't touch anything else.
So how long have you been teaching classes, Tom?
I've been teaching classes here in Las Vegas since about 2004.
So how did you get your start in this business? What was your inspiration?
I started doing clay when I was in high school. I had an art teacher who was also the basketball coach, and he didn't know what to do with me. So he said, here's some clay, go have fun. Come back if you have questions. And like, how many years is this later? Like, I'm still doing it. Haven't asked him any questions yet. So I guess
that first piece you made, when you brought it back, did he say, my God, what is that? Or you, son, you're a genius?
Neither. Like, he just kind of looked at me like I was crazy and walked away.
I said, Tom, I think you should go to Vegas and open a clay studio.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, are there any particular specialties that you guys focus on, or what types of education and what types of clay work can people do here?
We're a fairly social environment, so we gear our classes towards kind of a more entertainment side.
Okay.
Like we're not offering classes that are driven by you get a grade or you're covering all that kind of stuff. It's mostly about having a good time and learning to be creative.
And people can explore their own creativity and have fun and just take it wherever it leads them.
Yeah, so I've got folks who come in here and they'll spend 8 hours a week. I've got folks who come in here and spend 4 days a week, kind of all over the map that way.
So somebody like me could come in here, learn my fundamentals, and then I wake up in the middle of the night sometime with this crazy vision of something I want to make. And I go, Tom, here's a sketch of what I want to make. I have no idea how to do this, and you guys will help me with the techniques to make that.
Within reason, yes.
for you, Rick, within reason. So if people, is this you mainly deal with locals? Do you have people who drop in here on vacation and say, hey, I want to come in here for a day and make something?
We have folks that come in from Brazil on a regular basis. We have folks from Norway who've been in. We've got folks from Alaska who come in, which I know is still part of the United States, but not necessarily.
Barely.
Continental, right? So yeah, we have folks from all over the world who come in. We've got a woman from where's Australia. We've got a woman from New Zealand. We've got folks from Singapore who come in. So like all over the map.
So next time Rebecca and I are coming to Vegas for a few days, we could call ahead of time and say, hey, we want to come in and sit down with you and get a lesson. You'd help us make a simple bowl or something, and whatever.
Definitely.
Cool.
The way that we work is we do this really great drop-in class. So anytime there's a class going on, anyone is welcome to join, and we try to help folks find a new hobby, find a new love.
So if anybody, both locally in Las Vegas or visiting town, who wants to know more about taking one of your classes at Clay Arts Vegas, where can they get more information?
They can either call us at 702-375-4147 or visit our website, which is clayartsvegas.com.
Just like it says on Tom's shirt, right there. Thank you for your time, Tom. That was
Thanks.
very informative.
Cool. Thank you very much, Rick.